No one cares. The nicest people on the planet. Except for the whole 170-year-long mass genocide thing. Land of the free, home of the systemically oppressed. Great empanadas, even better cocaine. Guatemalan chocolate is so rich, smooth, and calming. Wish I could say the same thing about their history. That place that everybody thinks is in Mexico. If you took all the worst parts about Cuba and times it by 10, you probably have Honduras. If you took all the worst parts about Honduras and times it by 1,000, you definitely have El Salvador. No, that chocolate powder from the Truman Show does not exist. Every basic white girl's dream destination. That she'll go on to write an 18-page rant about why she hates it so much when she actually gets there. Well, based on the years of corruption left behind by the Varela administration and the most recent economic recession, I can determine that this place is full of real pandemonium. But no, seriously, it's actually a pretty depressing situation. I shouldn't be joking about it, actually. That place that Caribbean singer that you love doesn't actually comes from. Depending on the day, either America's mortal enemy or top vacation destination. That place that kid in your class with braids must come from. The only thing that perfectly complements Haiti's incredible government system is its crippling poverty. Oh wait, sorry, did I say incredible? I meant the complete opposite of that. We have heartwarming culture, fascinating history, incredibly beautiful landscape, and you're not even listening to me, are you? You're just too busy doing Molly on the beach. First Columbus, then Spain, now America? Who the hell's gonna screw us over next? Where that coffee that you pretend to like comes from. And also quite possibly the world record holder for most public curfews in history. The only country in the world to have started civil uprising because a man ate a slice of cheese on TV. That place that is definitely in South America, Central America, or Africa. God, you gift the world one of the most amazing brown sugars and people still can't find you on a map. That place that you know the kid in your class made up when he said where his parents come from. Somehow even less European than Guyana. No, not where Easter Island is. Or where Georgie Altador is from. Years of fighting against brutal colonialism and all that you're known for is a lake that sounds vaguely inappropriate. And once you get past the extreme totalitarianism, it ain't all that bad. It's more like just a light slap to the wrist. Or a gunshot to the head. Country so thin that I can't even fit it into this video. That place where Lionel Messi and the guy who composed The Last of Us come from. Beautiful culture, exciting tourist attractions, and rampant sex trafficking? Oh, sign me up! Huh. Holy shit. I can't believe it. They actually stood up to Brazil. Oh, wait, no. Those bastards got some compensation. How does every single country in South America both so desperately want to be you and not want to be you? 95% American resorts, 5% actual Barbadian businesses. My god. Bermuda, what has that crumpet-sucking bitch done to you this time? Ironically, there's more Greenland than Greenland. And the award for fucking up the world at the speed of light goes to... Imagine the most annoying sounding thing in the world. Now imagine if that thing became a country. Purple burglar alarm. Country with more alcoholics than Dartmouth, Canada. The Holy Land for white Protestants. And Christian extremists. Snails, baguettes, and art house films that you can never understand. It's kind of funny how Belgium has always had a love-hate relationship with itself. What? A European royal family that's actually still active in their country's politics? I must be dreaming. 60% Dutch, 40% foreign potheads who don't remember how they got here. World renowned for education, chocolate, and Lenin's ROM. Denmark is like an abusive boyfriend. Nice to his close friends, manipulative and degrading to his overseas girlfriend. Kinda shaped like a penis. Really shaped like a penis. Oh, come on, you're not even trying now. It's funny to think that this was basically the Canada of the Soviet Union. Home of the nicest fascist you'll ever meet. Amazing how well their economy's doing, considering most of them are dead before 30. I now present to you the fickle bitch of Europe. If you think Russia's corrupt, you ain't seen nothing yet. Russia's more well-behaved younger brother who keeps stealing all their friends. Half-baked Germany, the first country to ever entirely be run by school hall monitors. The only somewhat good thing to come out of the Holy Roman Empire. Well, you can't get more European than this thing. So many scientific achievements, and yet you still can't figure out how to drive a car properly. I will start a petition to rename the capital of the Thirsty, so help me God! The land of blood-sucking demons that prey on the innocent commoners to extend their powers. Also vampires. The only country to officially be diagnosed with multiple personality disorder. The only country to officially be diagnosed with depression. Donald Trump's future permanent residence. God, it's amazing how far soccer tournaments and preluding the Adriatic Sea will get you these days. You see, kids, this is what happens when you don't learn to share. And resort to ethnic cleansing. Imagine if the Russian mafia made a country, but also had a really weird obsession with cabbages and homophobia. No, it's the little baby of former Yugoslavia, who is constantly abused by its cabbage-obsessed homophobic mother. There's only two things that anyone who isn't Montenegrin knows about Montenegro. It was the setting of that one James Bond movie that you can't remember the name of, or it's probably a city in France. Weird. Has the lowest crime rate in all of Eastern Europe, yet the most menacing-looking flag in the world. Well, them changing their name proves one thing. People are willing to kill each other over literally anything. And on that day, Cecrops created the mighty city of Athens. And it was all downhill from there. God, 1 week you're authoritarian, next week you're libertarian. Make up your fucking mind already. Oh, that's cute. They think that they're a self-governing nation. Small population, yet a large amount of nationalistic things to say about the French. How would I best describe Spain in one sentence?
Algo que nunca fue bueno y solo ha empeorado.
Okay, I could give you a bunch of reasons why Portugal is completely different from Spain politically, culturally, and linguistically. But we'd all know that I'd be lying. Absolutely every single thing that is wrong with humanity. I'm actually willing to bet that I Love Italy t-shirt you got on your trip to Milan came from here. Smallest country in the world, and amazingly England's runner-up for the Fucking Up the World award. The meme of the human race. Wow, I've never seen a country so desperately not want to be a part of a continent. Geographically speaking, Armenia looks like it's been shoved through a wood chipper. The culprit responsible for shoving Armenia through a wood chipper. Known as the crossroads of civilizations. And also the crossfire of idealism. You can thank this country for gifting us Keanu Reeves. I would like to make a joke about Israel, but then again, I would also like to stay alive. A country so disputed that absolutely all of its borders are debatable. Amazing how well their tourism industry is doing, considering it's all just Indiana Jones fans. If North Korea got hotter and you were legally able to leave. A horrifying humanitarian crisis that Twitter pretends to care about. Too many shitty monarchies and theocracies to count. That place with those two cities that everyone wants to travel to. Until they find out that it's in the Middle East and they're all like, oh, gross, no, never mind. Incredible achievements in medical science and soon-to-be new addition to Saudi Arabia's landmass. The slowly sinking party life of the Islamic world. It's astonishing how much political conflict this small, dry mass of absolute nothingness has caused. A place in the middle of a war that ended 14 years ago. That place that everyone thinks, for some reason, is the twin brother of Saudi Arabia. And also has a surprisingly large number of video game addicts. Hands down the weirdest and most fascinating country on the planet. Nothing a good old glass of Camel's milk and municipal corruption can't fix. No amount of flashy advertisements can fix the damage that Borat has done to you. Well, now I know where the Xbox logo was stolen from. Christ, I don't think I was being very fair to Armenia back there. Imagine the politics of Afghanistan as a bad piece of art, and America as an art thief. They took something that wasn't there, scribbled all over it, and made it 1,000,000 times worse in the process, and then branded it as their own with no regard at all for the people who were actually trying to make something good out of it. The India of the stands. Damn, the contraceptives industry really isn't doing too well here, is it? That place that everybody thinks Hinduism comes from. That place that everybody thinks Buddhism comes from. Wait, what? You're telling me that Buddhism doesn't come from this place either? Where the concept of personal space is non-existent. Welcome to capitalism in complete and total denial. I guarantee you the only place in the world where you can make a career out of throat singing on top of a mountain. Despite being one of the most ruthless totalitarian dictatorships in all of history, I've got to give credit where credit is due. It makes some damn good kimchi. If North Korea launches the nukes, I give them full permission to hit their neighbors to the south first. Why? 3 words. K-pop fandom. I have a love-hate relationship with Japan. Love it for the amount of anime that it's given me, hate it for the incredibly terrible consent laws it has. China's wet dream. Canada's free supply chain of caretakers. The only country to successfully screw up Facebook worse than Mark Zuckerberg. Extremely interesting history and culture. As well as over 100 ways to mispronounce every fucking word in their language. You can thank this place for your grandparents being so chill with you smoking weed in their garage. Hypocrisy, autocracy, and civil atrocity. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect, not communist country. Cambodia has made technological advancements that rival that of China, Japan, and South Korea. But, let's face it, you'll forget that the second that this bit is over. Boy, they must really regret kicking Singapore out of their territory now. The only country that probably has a crime syndicate for selling gum. Not exactly Jamaica, but I could get used to the array of animals constantly trying to kill me. It's odd to think that this small patch of rainforest held one of the biggest Michael Jackson concerts in history. They've got a lot of really creative rappers and traditional musicians over here. Too bad most of them can't breathe. A place with a completely forgotten historical ethnic cleansing that rivals that of the Rwandan genocide. Well, one thing is certain about Papua New Guineans, they have a real addictive personality, wink wink. The generic answer to the question, where do you want to travel to someday? Extremely beautiful scenery and rampant transphobia. The only country to have an officially appointed wizard. And no, it is not Gandalf. And no, I am not joking. Holy crap, I completely forgot that you are not a part of India. I'm not creative enough to think up anything from Madagascar, so just insert King Julian meme here. An unbelievable amalgamation of inequalities. But hey, at least they gave us Tesla. A great lesson in how to successfully piss off the English government. Amazing cultural traditions, and a name that you're not even going to attempt to pronounce. The only thing worse than their government is their taste in high-grade weaponry. The birthplace of that instrument that every socially awkward teenage girl has but doesn't know how to play. It's amazing how much blood diamonds and sorghum can do for your economy. A country that is in a constant state of cosplaying as Germany. Wait, whoa, wait a minute. A real communist country? That's not a dictatorship? And actually functions well economically? Quite possibly the last place you'd expect to have the biggest porn industry in all of Africa. An extremely complex history and lots 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 and a whole fuck ton of sweet potatoes. Bet you didn't know this is where The Lion King was set. Yeah, that's right. I watched all 3 seasons of The Lion Guard, okay? Yeah, come at me, I don't fucking care. Hey now, it's not the government's fault that they're the poorest country on the planet. The people should have just done what they told them to. Pray to God, and hope that everything just turns out hunky-dory in the end. The only country that's giving Singapore a run for its money in terms of cleanliness. Ironically, one of the least democratic countries on Earth. They like to pretend that they are not the exact same as Democratic Congo. The snob of Africa that likes to think it was France's favorite. You know the Spanish were just pissing themselves with pride once they gained control over this place. The go-to pick for every class assignment on world hunger and poverty. That place that is definitely a continent in Africa. The Somali Civil War is one of the longest, most brutal, and depressing conflicts in all of history. In other words, it's like if a country was having repeated sex with Tom Cruise. I'm willing to bet that more than 60% of white supremacists have ancestors from this place. The Greenland of Africa. If you take a trip here, little word of advice. Never bring up Ethiopia. I love it when people tell me they would travel to Egypt but not Sudan because of danger, even though it has just as much beautiful culture, just as much amazing nightlife in the cities, just as many incredible tourist attractions, which include even more pyramids than Egypt, and, most of all, has just as much danger. Home of the tallest ethnic group in the world and peanut butter salad. Home of the shortest ethnic group in the world and crippling political corruption. Though I've grown tired of hearing this country's name, I thank it every single day for blessing us with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Big Man Tyrone. An incredible melting pot of diversity from across the globe. Too bad about that whole extreme police brutality thing, though. The only country that white people are afraid to say the name of. Yes, people, the physical geography of this place is the Chad meme. Surprisingly, no, not where Benin City is, as you can plainly see. Discount Benin. I swear there's a separatist group in every single little itty-bitty corner of this place. Okay, that name is really not a good look for you guys. Burkina Faso is home to some of the most stunning wildlife in all the world. And while you're there, I highly recommend that you try their methamphetamine. Mali has had so many protests against the government for so many years in a row that it's basically become a cultural tradition. Despite its staunchly anti-American government, they still insist on using the imperial system. You take the terrible economic system of Haiti and the abominable traffic laws of Bangladesh, put them together and what do you get? The West African country of Sierra Leone. God, if I had a nickel for every time another country stole this country's name, I would have 3 nickels. I'm convinced that Guinea-Bissauan women could carry a semi-truck on their heads if they had to. The only country in the world that can make surfing look fun. Huh, I didn't know they made a country in the shape of Ben Shapiro's penis. Mauritania, the land of the Islamic poets. And where in a court of law the words love, domestic violence, and rape mean basically the same thing. Cheap shisha, a constant military presence, and sandstorms that could blow you all the way from Layun to Safax? That is the life, my friends. Still tremendously salty over losing their bottom half. Over 46 years ago. Easily the world record holder for the most failed coups d'etats in history. If the entirety of Western Europe had a baby and they poured sand all over it. So come on, women have just as many opportunities as men do here in the workforce. Unless they want to be a doctor, or a lawyer, or a business executive, or a fashion designer, or a writer, or an illustrator, or a painter, or an actor, or an author, or a sex worker, or a custodian, or a construction worker, or an architect, or... Hey, all you high school Egyptologists, name me one thing about modern-day Egypt that doesn't have anything to do with the pyramids, the Sphinx, or the Nile. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know how they did it, but they managed to make the Italian language sound even worse. Let's all be honest. This is the best place in the whole world.